Hey, yo, it's your man Slim Jim Longfoot, aka the GOAT, King of America. Welcome to this most amazing spoiler review of the Odyssey. As y'all know, Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey just came out in the theaters, and I'm about to give you the greatest review ever on this movie. It was an epic. It had so many amazing people in it, and what else can I say? But before I get into it, if you like to see more reviews like this, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Hit that notification bell so you can keep up on all things going Jim Longfoot, alright? Bet. So, as you know, the Odyssey is one of the oldest stories told. It's basically a sequel to the Iliad. You know what I'm saying? And so, we start off with Jason Bourne. Everybody wonder where he been, because it's been like 20 years since he been home. He left to go fight off in Troy, and then he was gone for a whole nother 10 years. Most of his people already came back, that survived, like the Punisher. He came back and he linked up with his baby mama, linked up with his wife, who is the spitting image of her sister, who is, of course, T'Challa's baby mama. So, good come up on that right there, Frank. Meanwhile, back at home, the home that Odysseus left, aka Jason Bourne, his wife, Catwoman, she trying to hold it down as best as she can, but she got a lot of suitors. Everybody looking at her and they like, hey, we want to link up with you. We want to get married to you. So, of course, by that default, they will become king. You know what I'm saying? She got so many suitors, such as Dr. Dre. Dr. Dre trying to get at Catwoman. And, of course, her greatest suitor is, of course, none other than, of course, Batman. Batman trying to get at Catwoman. He been trying to get at Catwoman since Jason Bourne left. So that goes without saying that Batman, like, hey, he gonna get his in, because besides Jason Bourne, who else better than Batman to be there for Catwoman and be with her, Batman and Catwoman, come on now. So meanwhile, her son, who was a baby when Jason Bourne left, he grew up, he's ready to be the man. He's Spider-Man. So, Spider-Man, he's ready to lead the kingdom. But his mama don't think he's ready yet, because she's like, I've been holding it down since your daddy left. And I'm trying to hold it down as best as I can, because I know he's coming back. But Spider-Man, like, I ain't seen that dude since I was a baby. It's like, just like in the other universe, with his parents, the Parkers and whatnot, So it's like, I'm ready to lead, but at the same time, he wasn't really ready to lead. He wanted to lead. He was ready to lead. He wanted to lead, but he wasn't really ready. And one of his dad's oldest friends, the Violator, aka the Clown, was trying to, keep him encouraged. And of course, I always told him the stories about, Jason Bourne, all the amazing things he could do, especially with his bow. Nobody else could touch him on the bow. Like he was Green Arrow or something, Nobody could touch him on that. And so as we learned more about the situations, we learned that Batman was supposed to go with him, but ended up giving his little spot up to his young friend, who, a little complicated, at one point was Shadowcat, but now, his own man. So Shadowcat didn't even know about the plan that they had regarding the gift that they gave to Troy, the gift that they gave to the people of Troy, the Trojans, aka a horse that, of course, had all of them stowed away in there, as many of them as possible. And this, of course, was Jason Bourne's idea, because you know how Jason Bourne get down. So, of course, they succeeded. They got in through the horse and got, brought in the rest of their armies to go ahead and take this all down. Take down Troy once and for all. And that's how they succeeded at breaching Troy. You know the story, the Trojan horse. You know how I get down. Trojan man. Yeah, that part. So Jason Bourne and his people went through some stuff, and he tried his best to save them. And also at the same time, he didn't want to go home. Like, he left to get milk, and he didn't want to go back home at the time. And so, this whole Odyssey began of him trying to get back home, but he wasn't really ready to go back home. And at the end of the day, it all ended up with him being on the island with daggone Furiosa. Furiosa. She daggone gave him some stuff that made him forget about who he was, going back home, this, that, and the third. And so by the time it all boiled around too, because, MJ had been looking at him, Spider-Man's old lady. MJ had been trying to nudge him and get him to remember who he was, and that Spider-Man needed him. Catwoman needed him, so he needed to go back home. So MJ had been, getting him them looks of disappointment, and trying to get him to head on back, So eventually, push came to shove. Spider-Man was like, okay, I'm tired of waiting. I gotta go find out, meet up with some folks who, met up with my dad and see if they can't figure out, try to figure out, where Jason Bourne been at. That's when he went to go meet the Punisher. Punisher was like, hey, before we get into this brand new day, let me tell you about what happened with Jason Bourne. How, hey, he wasn't no joke, but I ain't seen him since Troy. I ain't seen him since we did what we did in Troy, and that was it. And that was the last time I seen him. So I can't tell you much more about that other than, how we got down with the get down. And he was like, all right, bet. And Black Panther, his old lady, who of course is fitting the image of Black Panther's baby mama, who of course they called her Helen of Troy in the movie. She was like, hey, I don't know what to tell you, but but let your mom and them know, we sorry about everything you did, but it is what it is. So that part. That part. So without further ado, as I said, Jason Bourne finally made his way back home, but he knew he had to come. He had to move in silence, because he knew coming back, hey, I'm back, yeah, there, like that wasn't gonna work. That's not gonna work, especially when you got strangers in the house, snakes in the house. They've been eating and gagging and doing all this, that, and the third, all this extra stuff because of the rules when it comes to, if you believe in God, you're supposed to let people in your house, because you don't never know if one of them gonna be God or not. One of the guys, nah, bro, it ain't about to work like that. Hey, I fool with you, but you ain't about to eat me out of house or home. Like, that ain't the move. Shoot, because if you are, the deity, come on. Anywho, so like I say, Jason Bourne started moving, as he do, real quiet, like, his dog was loyal as crap. His dog was like, hey, I'm gonna wait until you finally make it back home, and then I die. First he make his way over to Clown. They had just killed some of his little people and whatnot like that, and all that. So he was there. He helped them out, but he didn't let Clown know who he was. And then, of course, like I told y'all, Spider-Man, went to go find out some information about his daddy. So Batman had sent some people to go ahead and take him out. Like, okay, make sure he don't make it back, because I don't know what's going on, but make sure he don't make it back, because I don't like the little boy anyway. You know what I'm saying? He's Spider-Man, I'm Batman. You feel me? So that part. So on the way back, Spider-Man, of course, ended up running into Jason Bourne. Of course, he didn't know it was him, because, of course, he ain't never seen what his daddy looked like. But eventually, push came to shove, they talked. He was like, okay, yeah, I'm here to help you out. And, Jason Bourne did what he did. He daggone wrapped it up, and then, the boy, Spider-Man was like, man, how you, how you know how to do all that? How you fight like that? And he's like, oh yeah, I knew your daddy, dog. I knew your daddy. And he was like, for real, like how was he? What was he like? He was that dude. You know what I'm saying? But he had his little hang-ups and everything. But he was that dude though. He was $100,000. Is he coming back? Like, oh yeah, he coming back. He sent me first so I can see what's happening with the spot. And then he said he gonna pull up. And he's like, okay, cool. So with that being said, so he made his way there. And of course, as they presented, he presented himself to be a beggar. Jason Bourne presented himself to be a beggar. And of course, as the custom is of, hey, let anybody in your house because that's the way of Zeus. You know what I'm saying? AKA my boy Gladiator, because Gladiator played Zeus in the last Thor movie. But anyway, but make it that part, be kind, and so at the end of the day, Jason Bourne ended up talking to Catwoman because she was kind of intrigued by him, and especially when she found out that he was over there with her husband. And so she was like, he told her these things and this, that, and the third, and and whoop, and said he gonna come when you most need him. He gonna come when you most need him. He is alive. And she like, where you been then? You know what I'm saying? So that right there, she made up her mind, and she was like, all right, I got something for y'all. I'm finally ready to pick a man to be with. The man who can daggone string up my husband's bow. Because nobody, as I told y'all, nobody could do it like Jason Bourne. Jason Bourne knew how to string that thing up. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Nobody. And he would even challenge people to, hey, see if y'all can do it. You know what I'm saying? Ha! You can't do it. Anyway. But she was like, whoever be able to do it, that's the man I'm going to marry. So they were like, all right, then bet. So everybody started stepping up. Nobody could do it. Nobody could do it. Nobody. Dr. Dre, he was one of the first folks to step up. He like, ring, ding, dong. He couldn't do it. And he was like, man, something wrong with that thing. That thing ain't, that mug, oh man, that mug don't work no more. Can't, gone. So everybody was attempting. And then got down to like, all right, you try it then, Batman, since you talking all that mess. And he like, you know what? Bump all that. So we understand you want us to do something nobody can't do. So we understand. So what you gonna have to do is pick somebody out here. Mind you, he didn't even attempt to try it. Mind you, I don't think everybody else did it. But then again, everybody else probably did do it. He was probably the last person. He was like, you know what? I know everybody can't do this. So you're gonna have to pick somebody out here. And then that was when the beggar, aka Jason Bourne, he had a hood on and everything like that, so you couldn't really see his face. So he was shrouded in the shadows like cool hood G. And he was like, I ain't tried. And he like, man, you a beggar. Nobody ain't got time for that. How you even get up in here? Because, they was all in the room. It was locked up. You know what I'm saying? Clown, he had made sure all of the weapons and everything got, secured and away from them, so nobody could have any weapons and whatnot. And so they're like, go ahead and try it. So the beggar, he looking at the bow, doo-doo, trying to, it's like, everybody laughing. And so he had to, stringing that thing along. And they like, and when he did that, doing, it was like, Catwoman turned around and said, drip, 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 drip. And Batman was like, and Dr. Dre, he was like, oh snap, you must be Dr. Dre, out of there, buddy. And Jason Bourne got Jason Bourne, and going off with the bow. And everybody trying to run, everybody trying to go for cover. And then one of the guys said Batman was like, man, where the weapons at? And one of the guys who was peeping what Klein was doing when they was securing the weapons, he was like, oh, I know where they here. Like, go get him. Go. And so, man, he made his way up out of there, out the door, to go get the weapons. And then Spider-Man, he saw that, so he had to go get old boy. Spider-Man got there too daggone late though, because the dude he daggone got the weapons, and they was right over their head in the room above them. So he made a hole. He started dropping stuff down there. While he was dropping stuff down there, people were getting armed up, going after Jason Bourne, while Jason Bourne was steadily, Spider-Man got to fighting the dude who was trying to get them the weapons. Spider-Man finally eventually took him out. He was like, man, thank you. Like, come on, Spidey, get it together. I know you ain't got your web shooters here, but get to it, bro. And so, daggone, Jason Bourne did his thing, and then he looking at Batman, and he told him, you know what I'm saying, I'm the dark now. You know what I'm saying? I'm the dark out here now. And then also here, here's your, oh yeah, I forgot to mention earlier, he had gave him his little thing back that he had slid over to Shadow Cat when that he had that's how he got out of going to the war. And so he was like, yeah, he is this back from Shadow Cat, you feel me? And you know what I'm saying? And yeah, you take it on to Hades and holler at him and say, hey, tell him I sent you there. Batman out of here. Ding, 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 out of there. And so, and then he fell down because, he got stabbed up, you know what I'm saying? He got stabbed all up and everything like that. And Catwoman like, no, don't you leave me. Don't you leave me. You get me. If I'm better than 20 years, don't you leave me. He like, I'm good, girl. Yeah, I'm cool. I'm chilling. I'm chilling. So, it faded off. And then we saw Spider-Man. He's now king. But here's the kicker, though. His mama, Catwoman, about to leave the country with her man Jason Bourne, because he said, hey, we about to let Spider-Man handle this. He ready to be king. He the king now, and we about to go save the world. We retired. Bump all this. We retired, and we'll go. You know what I'm saying? Go salute and pay tribute to my dead homies and leave it at that. We going out here. We out here cooling together. We good on that. And so that was the Odyssey, y'all. That was the Odyssey. So if you enjoyed this little take right here, comment below. You know what I'm saying? Anything I missed, feel free to get with it. And if you like to see more, I don't know. I don't think there's any other movies that had that much star power, in terms of, actors that are so known for playing other roles. Because that was definitely an action-packed, star-powered movie. But it was funny though, like when I first saw it, and because when I first heard about the Odyssey, I didn't even know Matt Damon was gonna be in it. I technically didn't know anybody that was gonna be in the movie, and it turned out to be so many people in the movie, and so it was like, yeah. And then I was looking at it, and I was like, yeah, it is. This is hilarious. Yeah, it's Catwoman, Anne Hathaway, Robert Pattinson. My boy Tom Holland, my boy Punisher. His name escaping me right now. Hold on for a minute. Y'all know his name. Why is his name escaping me right now? Y'all know who I'm talking about. But my boy Shane from Walking Dead. His real name escaping me right now. But y'all know who I'm talking about. But anyways, but yeah, Corey Hawkins, who played Dr. Dre. John Leguizamo. All these folks. You know what I'm saying? So, I hope y'all enjoyed this review. Once again, feel free to subscribe. Check out my content, my art videos, my daily vlogs, and we up out of here, y'all. And of course, my other reviews, which aren't as colorful as this, but I thought this was a hot take, though. So, stay blessed up. Continue to manifest greatness, maintain greatness, motivate others to be great. We up out of here. One love.
Live G.